The story of the movie begins with a high school girls' bus. And the students were happy because they were going on a school trip. They brought out their pillows and started playing with them. And the feathers spread everywhere. And now we see a student on the bus named Mitsu. And she was busy writing poems. She did not play with the girls. Suddenly her friends started to bother her and pulled her notebook from her. So her pen fell on the ground. And when she bent her head to pick it up, suddenly the bus split in half. And the upper part flew off. And all the students were cut in two. But Mitsu was not hurt because she was bending her head down. She stood up shocked and didn't know what was happening. Every time the wind increased, she bent her head to protect herself. The wind started to get stronger until even the electric poles collapsed. After that, Mitsu got off the bus and kept running until she saw a group of students walking in the street. She called out to them and said, "Lie down." But they didn't understand her. Suddenly she ran and pushed one girl down and lay flat on the ground. While the other students were cut in half. The girl stood up scared and saw the students wandering with bicycles. She called out to them to lie down. But suddenly the students were cut. And the girl didn't duck and she was cut too. Then Mitsu entered the forest and kept running until she reached the lake. And the lake was full of the dead. Mitsu there found clean clothes and took them because her clothes were covered in blood. She washed her face and walked again in the street until she reached the school. There she saw all the students were there. And she saw her friend whose name was Aki, who was on the bus. Aki asked Mitsu and said to her, "Why is your hair wet?" Mitsu was shocked. And she was crying. And she told Aki that she lost her mind. Suddenly strong winds came. And Mitsu sat on the ground immediately. Scared. The students were surprised at her behavior and told her it was just normal wind. They took her to go inside the school. But the winds came back strongly. And Mitsu started to run and entered the school. Aki immediately entered after her and told her nothing bad would happen and she must calm down. She took her to the classroom. And Mitsu told her she dreamed a bad dream. That all the students died on the bus because of the wind. Mitsu looked out the window and saw the winds were very strong. So she got scared. Aki opened the window and let Mitsu stretch her hands so the fear inside her would go away. And told her, "It is a beautiful day today. So let's skip the lesson and go on a picnic." Mitsu agreed. And she and Aki went to their friends, who were Teiko and Sora. And they decided to go to the lake. But before they left, the teacher stopped them and asked, "Where are you going?" And Aki pulled Mitsu and ran quickly. And Teiko and Sora followed them. They kept running until they reached the lake. Mitsu there felt better and started to laugh. Aki told the girls about Mitsu's dream. And they laughed. But Sora told them this thing could happen and maybe she entered a parallel world. And she had read before that there are many parallel universes similar to ours. Teiko told her this was impossible. Sora picked up a stone and threw it into the lake and let the girls focus on the waves in the water. Suddenly a crocodile appeared and ate Teiko. Then we know that what happened with Teiko was in the parallel world. Sora saw a pillow near the lake and took it and started playing with it with the girls. And feathers spread everywhere. Mitsu there started to enter parallel worlds and return to the real one. After that, they went back to the school and entered the lesson. There Mitsu saw a pillow on the ground, picked it up, and threw it at Aki. Suddenly gunfire happened, and all the students died except Mitsu. At that time the teacher was holding a gun and came near Mitsu and told her, "How dare you interrupt my lesson?" She was about to kill her. But at the last moment, Sora and Teiko came and took Mitsu and escaped. They hid in one of the classrooms. At that time another teacher entered holding a gun. Teiko stood to confront her. But the teacher killed her immediately. Sora took Mitsu and ran. But before they left the class, the teacher shot Sora and made her fall on the ground. Sora stood and told Mitsu, "Don't let them reach you and defeat you. You must defend yourself." Then the teacher shot Sora and killed her. And Mitsu escaped immediately. She ran with the rest of the students. And the teachers continued shooting them. Mitsu was running and suddenly fell. At that moment the strong winds returned. And the students were cut in two. Mitsu immediately stood and saw the street completely empty. She kept running until she entered a crowded street and went to the police station. Very scared, the policewoman tried to know what happened to her. But Mitsu was trembling and couldn't speak. The policewoman looked at Mitsu's face and said, "I remembered you," and called Mitsu by the name Keiko. She asked her, "What are you doing here? And why are you wearing a school uniform?" Mitsu was shocked and looked at herself in the mirror and saw another face that didn't look like hers. The policewoman took Mitsu in the car and said the party was about to start and they must reach quickly. Then she took her to the party place. And there were many girls happy with the celebration. Mitsu was shocked and didn't know what was happening. They took her inside the house. And she saw Aki in front of her. Aki made Mitsu sit in front of the mirror and told her she must prepare herself before the groom arrived. Mitsu was shocked. Aki turned on the hairdryer to comb her hair. But Mitsu got scared and sat on the ground immediately, remembering what happened on the bus when the storm came. The girls entered the room bringing the wedding dress. Aki asked them to leave. And she called Mitsu by her real name and told her not to be afraid and do everything she asked. And told her, "Now you became a mix between Mitsu and Keiko. And today is your wedding. I will tell you later what happened because the story is long. And you must be careful because they are watching us." Then Aki prepared Mitsu and dressed her in the wedding gown. The girls entered the room. And Aki told Mitsu to watch. She grabbed one of the girls, broke her arm, made her fall on the ground, then killed her, and told Mitsu this is how you should deal with them. Aki went to the other girls and killed them and gave Mitsu a broken bottle and told her, "Fight them with this." Then they took Mitsu to the wedding hall. And they were throwing flowers at her. But suddenly the girls started to act strangely and pushed Mitsu. And one of them opened the box in the hall and said to Mitsu, "This is your husband. We know that the groom was a strange creature, half human and half pig." Mitsu killed him with the bottle. And the girls got scared of her and escaped immediately. At that time Aki came and took Mitsu and told her they must escape. But before they left the hall they saw the teachers in front of them. A fight started. But Aki and Mitsu were able to defeat the teachers and left the hall immediately. They kept running in the street. And Aki stopped and told Mitsu someone was chasing them and told her to go and she would distract them. Mitsu ran. But suddenly a girl came and called her by another name. Mitsu saw a mirror in the street, went to it, and saw her face changed again. Then two girls came and told her, "Let's continue running." They ran and Mitsu ran with them until she reached a street full of people cheering. And her friends pulled her with them to continue running and win the race. But Aki, Sora, and Teiko appeared running with her. At that time the teachers and the pig creature appeared chasing them. Sora told Mitsu, "You must escape from this world." Mitsu went on another road and kept running until she entered a strange place. At that time a girl took Mitsu inside. And there was a group of students with their faces covered in a scary way. One of them told Mitsu, "If you are alive, then you must die," and pulled out a knife and dragged Mitsu, yelling at her, "Remember which world we are in. Because everyone here is dying because of you." Suddenly Aki came and saved Mitsu from the girl who wanted to kill her. She took Mitsu and they kept running. Then they stopped. And Aki told Mitsu, "Repeat after me. Say my name is Mitsu." Mitsu remembered the bus disaster and started to repeat after Aki until her face returned to normal. At that moment Aki showed her hands tied with a rope and told her, "Pull the rope and tear my hands." Mitsu refused to do it. So Aki slapped her and told her, "This world we are in is only an illusion. And someone forced us to enter it. And you are the main character in this world. The only one who can stop it. This is the only way for us to escape. You must pull these ropes to create an exit." Mitsu was forced to do it. So she pulled the ropes. Aki started to scream in pain. And suddenly electricity formed in her body and she split in two. Mitsu saw a door in front of her with strong light. And she went and entered it. The door took her to a restaurant. Mitsu kept walking. But no one saw her. Until she entered a door and saw a hall full of men. And her picture was hanging on the door. Her and the characters she had transformed into. Mitsu read the words on the board and realized it was the logo of a 3D game. At that time a man came close to Mitsu and asked her, "Do you still remember me?" Mitsu stayed silent, and the man said, "You are now in the future." When Mitsu heard that, she fainted immediately. After that she woke up and found herself in a strange place. The students were all standing against the wall like dolls. She kept walking until she reached an old woman. The woman was playing a 3D game on the screen. And we know that what happened with Mitsu was all just a game. The old woman told Mitsu that she died many years ago, and she collected Mitsu's DNA and her friends and used them in video games. She showed her a glass box, and everything happening was in the future. Mitsu and her friends were frozen inside like dolls. Mitsu started to scream and asked her to release them, but the old woman refused. Mitsu got angry, took the stick from the old woman, and stabbed herself. The old woman screamed because she could not use Mitsu's character for the games anymore. At the same moment Mitsu died. All the other characters she had turned into died too. In this way Mitsu returned to the real world, returned to the present, and to her normal life. She was able to get rid of the old woman who had used her in the future for video games. She woke up from the nightmare and lived her life happily and without pain. And here ends the movie.